I only see your names. So my dear friends, somebody asked me this question, right? Are you truly free, or are you bound like a tree? Have you ever contemplated a tree? A tree is bound. A tree cannot move. And the tree lives and dies in one place. Imagine you are like that. Imagine your life was, you are in one place like a tree. The tree also has a soul. The tree has a soul, but the tree cannot move. It cannot go where it wants to go. It has its own limitations. So with that note, I feel that on the eve of our Independence Day of our country, we should focus on a different kind of freedom. A freedom that gives us freedom from fear, freedom from thoughts, freedom from the ego. We need a different kind of a freedom to overcome ignorance, freedom from mithya, from maya. That is a challenge. So with that note, Administrator, can you hear me loud and clear? Because it's an outdoor call, Administrator.
Yes, sir. The first
Yes.
question is
Yes.
from Prabhakar.
Go ahead.
His question is, how to be always in consciousness and motivation?
Motivation is a different subject. Consciousness is a different subject. So don't try to mix the two. Because motivation is a motive for action. People who don't know the meaning of motivation, the word motivation comes from a motive. A thief has a motive. Everybody who does an action, there is a motive. And what is this motive? This motive creates an action. That is motivation. So Prabhakar, being in consciousness is far beyond motivation. Motivation is very ordinary. So don't try to look for motivation. Motivation is for beginners. Those who want to start the journey, they need some motivation. But spirituality is not about motivation. How to be in the state of consciousness? To be in the state of consciousness, you need Sat Chit Anand. And Sat Chit Anand means that you have to have the realization of the truth. And the realization of the truth is this. The realization of the truth is that I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am the divine soul. So this is the way to be in the state of consciousness. So you have to, once you have got the state of consciousness that I am not the body, mind, ego, I am the divine soul, you can remain in that state of Sat Chit Anand, Prabhakar. But you must get that realization. That is important. Next, please.
Next is Krishna Sharma.
Yes, sir. Krishna Sharma.
Sir, Shivam, sir. Are you able to hear me, sir?
Yes, sir. I can hear you loud and clear.
Sir, my question is next to Prabhakar's question only. Where actually consciousness is staying in our mind? Mind or intellect or ego or somewhere else?
What was the first part of your statement?
This consciousness.
Yes.
My question is following the Prabhakar sir's question only.
Yeah.
The consciousness, where it will be staying in our body?
Consciousness is in every cell of your body. Consciousness is the divine soul. It's every cell of your body. So you can't, it's not like consciousness is in your eyes. It is not in your ears.
I'm not able to hear you properly, sir. Sir, you are walking very fast.
Okay, I'm going to slow down. Consciousness is in every part of your body.
Every part of the body.
Yeah, it's not that consciousness is in your eyes and it's not in your nose, it's in your ears and it's not somewhere in your body. Consciousness is everywhere, every cell of your body.
Oh. Then one more small doubt, sir.
So the moment you, for example,
Yeah.
if you're doing pedicure and you're removing the dead cells of your body, once you remove the dead cells, there is no consciousness in the dead cells.
Yeah.
But as long as you are alive, there is consciousness everywhere.
Okay. Sir, one more doubt, sir.
Yes, sir, go ahead.
Now it is 8 o'clock in India. You are in Switzerland.
Yeah.
5 hours. That means it is 3:30 there.
It is now 4:30, I think.
4:30. Okay. That's why it is so bright there still.
Yes.
And that's why I got a doubt.
I'm sitting on the edge of a lake.
Yeah. Very nice, sir.
I'm going to meet somebody here.
Yeah.
Meeting of enlightenment. So I'm meeting somebody in Switzerland and discussing enlightenment, and this is the spot. I'm going to meet them here. They are going to come and sit down here.
Very nice. Very nice, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right.
Next, please.
Next is Tanu Sharma.
Yes, Tanu Sharma. Tanu, go ahead, Tanu. Tanu, I'm waiting for you. Tanu Sharma. Tanu. You have to unmute. Tanu, you are muted. Please unmute.
Shivoham Guruji, I'm Tanu Chopra.
Yes. She told me Sharma. I was wondering why she told me Sharma. Tell me, Tanu. Please go ahead.
Guruji, I wanted to ask you, in our day, so many thoughts come in our mind.
Yes.
You know, some thoughts come and we want to act on those thoughts, but somehow the time passes and that thought also goes. So how is it that we get hold on to the thought which is right and then act on that thought?
My understanding is that if the mind is in command, it will bombard you with one thought and second thought and third thought, and it'll go on bombarding you. But if your consciousness is in command, if you are not controlled by your mind, but you're controlled by consciousness, then this will not happen. Then you will become conscious of that thought. That thought which you are saying escapes you is only escaping because how to make you understand. There's a game, for example, and you're holding a ball. The ball is in your hand, and another ball is coming and hitting the ball. So the ball is going away. So one thought is there. Before you can capture the thought, another thought is coming and hitting you, and then another thought is hitting you. That means your mind is making you a monkey. The mind is playing with you. And because the mind is playing with you, you're not able to capture the thought. So how spirituality will help? Spirituality will help when there is consciousness. When there is consciousness, this will not happen. It is only because there is no consciousness this happens.
Yes.
Okay?
Guru.
Next, please. Administrator.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you.
There is no other question for now.
Okay, so then if there is no question, I will be talking about the concept of freedom.
I have a question, sir.
Master.
Devkar, question.
Master.
That's what I have questions. Sudeep has the questions. So administrator, please collect the questions. In the meanwhile, I want to complete a thought on freedom. I think we human beings, we don't realize the importance of the ability for a human being to be able to talk. If my dog has pain in the kidney, I have the kidney. I should be.
You are not audible.
I'm not audible?
Now
it is okay. Now it is okay.
Okay, so I'm an outdoor, as I told you. If I'm not audible, please tell me. So I'm saying we should be grateful for the freedom that we have got. We human beings are sometimes not grateful. We don't realize the kind of freedom we have got. We can, as I said, right? So we human beings can choose. We are the only ones who can choose our karma. No other. The dog cannot choose its karma. You lock the dog in the kennel. The dog is locked. The dog can't go anywhere. But we human beings are not like that. We are free, and therefore we should value our freedom. So this because there was no question, I was going to start, but I would first do the questions. So administrator, back to the questions, please.
Dattatreya, please.
Yes, Dattatreya, I'm waiting for you.
Shivam, sir. Sir, what is pragya? It is intuition.
What is pragya? In what context? Yes. In what context are you asking?
प्रज्ञा जागृत होती है तो आत्मज्ञान होता है, ऐसा सुना है, तो या इंट्यूशन है क्या? अलग है?
No. See, as I told you, you don't get confused with the words. I use the term pragya in the concept of sthit pragya. Sthit pragya means steady intellect. Yeah. So for me, my understanding of the word pragya is intellect, is using the power of the intellect. Okay. So in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna uses the term sthit pragya.
In the second chapter, yes.
Sthit pragya means steady intellect. Steady intellect is not somebody whose intellect is constantly jumping up and down. Somebody whose intellect, sometimes it works, sometimes it does not work. No. The person who's a sthit pragya, according to Lord Krishna, he is the one who's holding the mind, which he calls the reins, which controls the 5 horses. So sthit pragya is somebody who is able to have a steady intellect. That is my understanding.
Okay.
But why are you asking? Because I always told you, don't get caught by technical words. Is there something that you want to understand? Can I help you further?
No, it is sufficient.
It is sufficient? Okay.
It's okay.
Let me tell you one thing. If you get caught by one shloka or you get caught by one Sanskrit mantra and you don't understand it, then there's no point in wasting your time in that. Because when you waste your time in that, then you lose the consciousness of the realization of the truth. You become frustrated. You become stressed out. So leave it. Don't get worried about these complicated words. You take it in simple words. Try to follow it in simple words.
Yes.
Okay.
Sir.
Thank you. Administrator, next, please.
Next question, Veena.
Veena.
Namaste, yes. Master.
Namaste, Veena.
Master, how to handle the toxic people around us?
In what way? Give me an example.
See,
give me an example, please. Give me an example. Don't give the you can change the example, but give me an example which I can explain to you. I can't. Administrator, can you hear me? I can't hear Veena.
Hello, Master.
Yeah, now I can hear you. Tell me, Veena.
Master, if somebody asks something means, if I think it's nonsense, not to answer means I won't react for that.
Don't
okay, now. They tempt us to speak something on the subject or something about their life. It irritates now. How to handle that situations? Even though we are.
Veena, those people are not realized souls. Why are you expecting non-realized souls to be realized? Why are you expecting people who do not understand the meaning of godliness, who do not understand the meaning of Atma, who do not understand the meaning of consciousness? There will be different type of people. Why are you worrying about your job is not to worry about other people's actions. Your job is to worry about your reaction. You concentrate on your reaction. Don't worry about their action. You are not here to please everybody. If you try to please everybody, you will become unhappy. You don't please others. You do your duty. You do your best.
Yes,
Forget
Master.
the rest.
Yes, Master. Thank you, Master.
Next question, Administrator.
Tanu Chopra again.
Yes, Tanu. This time she got you correct. It's Chopra. Yes, bolo Tanu.
Shivom, Guruji. Guruji, I wanted to ask you, we generally have a nice nature, good nature, friendly nature, we are enthusiastic about things. But when circumstances are not in our favor, then our nature also changes. The way we behave also changes. The way we see also changes. And we are not in our own control.
Should
So
not
I
change.
want how
We should
to
not change.
how in the normal course of life, what we can do so that whenever tough situations come, we do not change.
You must remember that the situation that is coming in your life is your own karma coming back to you. Even Veena, just now, suppose somebody is behaving badly with you. You don't ask the question, oh, why you're doing like that? Oh, why are you doing like that? No. When you understand, okay, Tanu, please understand, whatever is happening in our life, whatever is happening, suppose I'm sitting here just now. Okay, I'm sitting quietly on the lake in Switzerland. One cow comes and kicks me from the back. What can I do about it? But why did the cow kick me? I should not curse. I should accept that whatever is happening in my life is karma. Either it is past karma or present karma. Suppose it's my present karma, I am standing in the path of a horse or a cow. That my present karma is wrong. I have not used my power of intelligence to stand in the wrong place. If I'm standing in the middle of the road, a car comes and bangs me. It is not the fault of the driver. I am standing in the wrong place. So this is my present karma. I made a mistake in the today's karma. But sometimes there is no fault of yours. There is no fault. Suddenly something bad happens.
Sometimes you keep on taking things very lightly, very lightly, very lightly, very lightly, very lightly. But it is adding to your stress somewhere. So at one point of time, then.
No, it's adding to your stress because you're thinking this world is real. If you remember the beautiful song, Kesara Sara, whatever will be, will be. The future's not ours to see. Kesara Sara. If you take this world like a drama, right, then you will not take things seriously. You must always tell yourself, that one of the songs I sing, it's called नाटक उसका है ये, संगीत भी उसकी है, हम तो बस कलाकार हैं, हम आते हैं जाते हैं, मर्जी जो है उनकी वो मंजूर करना है, ये जीवन उनकी कृपा है, हमको अर्पण करना है, जो भी होता है उसकी मर्जी है, माया ये उसकी लीला है, लीला ये उसकी, हम तो बस कलाकार हैं, मंजूर हमको करना है. You have to learn that it's all a leela. You have to learn it's all a drama. We take things too seriously. We are reacting to everything that happens in this world. Somebody told something. You know, when somebody tells you something, sometimes I know somebody who comes and tells me, you know, AiR, I'm very disturbed. I'm very, very disturbed because my life partner told me something very bad. So I asked them, okay, what they told? And they tell me in privacy, they share in confidentiality. Then I asked them the question, when they told you this? When did they tell you this question? They said exactly 19 years, 6 months and 42 days. So 19 years, 6 months and 42 days. They forgot 19 years, 7 months and 12 days. So they're counting every day how many days over since that person told like this.
Sometimes our memory should be bad.
No. So what I'm trying to tell you is, it's not good to nurse your hurt, to curse your hurt, to rehearse your hurt. You have to learn to reverse it. You must reverse your hurts. And then, Tanu, life is beautiful, no? Life, you must just, sometimes you may not be in Switzerland, but the small lake is there near your house. Just sit, so go and sit and look at the sky and look at the clouds like I do. I just sit quietly. I'm alone. I sit quietly and I watch God in the nature. So this is the way to do it. So please try to be still and try to be silent. Okay, thank you. Next question, please.
Shivoham. Thank you, Guruji. Shivoham.
Shivoham. Administrator, next question.
Sudeep.
Sudeep Bhargava.
Shivam, sir.
Shivoham.
So my question is related to Tanu ma'am's first question, where she was telling that we don't take action on the thoughts. Is it, can I connect it with that train example that you give? Because we do not observe which thought is coming and give a priority level to those thoughts. And that's why maybe we miss out taking action on the right thought and take action on the wrong thought. It's similar to like sitting in the wrong train itself, because we don't know which train is there. That station master example that you take of consciousness, sir. Can I put it that way?
I don't know what way you're putting it. Honestly, I'm not able to get the context you're putting. But what I'm saying, that the mind is a rascal, right? The mind will go on giving us thoughts. My point is this, that we should remain in consciousness. Whether you put in any examples, Sudeep, because what happens, your mind is always wanting to give you examples. The problem with your mind is the moment you are thinking something, your mind will bring 3 examples. Then I'm always worried about you getting lost in your examples. I am so worried about your mind. Because when the mind gives you too many examples, you forget the main subject. You are remembering too many examples. Honestly, when I speak to you, I don't have any examples. I don't remember. When I'm talking to you, having some example will come, I'll give it to you. I don't prepare any examples. You know that I don't make any preparation for giving any answer to your questions. Because I try to answer from my consciousness, not from my mind. So this is the challenge.
Sir, audio is very low, sir. Audio is very low.
Try to be in a state of consciousness. Now are you okay, Krishna Sharma? Okay. So you keep on, when I'm in outdoor like this, you have to correct me because I don't know what is the condition of the signal. So Sudeep, forget about your mind giving examples. Remain in a state of consciousness. Okay?
Sir. Sure, sir. Shivam.
Shivoham, next please.
Next is Priyanka.
Shivam, sir.
Shivoham, Priyanka.
My question is actually a continuation of what you were just speaking about. I have 2 questions. First is, what is the difference between consciousness and awareness? Second is, how do you remain conscious or aware?
See, awareness can be, you can be aware of the clouds. You can be aware of some dog near you. The word awareness does not really mean consciousness. Consciousness is a spiritual term. Consciousness is a term where you become conscious that you are the divine soul. Consciousness, awareness is a very ordinary term. But people use the term self-awareness. Now that term of self-awareness is consciousness. Sometimes the words are interchanged. Correct? But the word, so for example, you would not use the term that my goal is awareness. No, you can be aware. For example, a teacher is aware of all the students in the class. But that does not mean the teacher has attained the state of consciousness. So the term awareness is a very simple term. The word consciousness is a very evolved term of the spiritual path. What is your second question, Priyanka?
So now that you've made it clear that those are different, so do you think that consciousness comes from awareness? And my question was basically, how do you remain aware? Because the mind drifts away. Thoughts come, things happen, and then you get lost in thoughts. Well, how do you remain conscious or aware?
Okay, suppose I was in Paris 2 years back. And I was aware that there were some thieves in the Paris airport. But although I was aware there was a thief in the thief, I found a lady from I think Turkey, or I'm not sure from which part. There were a bunch of ladies. I suddenly found her hand inside my pocket holding my purse. And I actually caught her hand. And when I caught her hand was inside my pocket. And there were a group of 4 or 5, a bunch of ladies who were trying to do this racket. Now, when such a thing happened, I became conscious of this every time I'm in Paris airport. I cannot forget. I was in Paris airport day before yesterday, and I was so conscious. I did not worry about my tea, my coffee. I didn't worry about anything else. My attention was watching if anybody's putting their hand in my pocket, because I became conscious of that experience. So consciousness is that experience which is irreversible. It is an experience which you cannot forget.
Okay.
Then you remain in that state of consciousness. You even go beyond the mind and ego, which is me, which is always thinking of thoughts and things like that. So that is the difference. How do you remain conscious? No, you will become conscious. So Priyanka, you don't, it is not, once you are conscious, then it's an automatic state of being. Then you become in that state of consciousness.
Okay.
Did I answer your question? I mean, did I miss any point of it?
Yes. No. I have one more question. Is it something like your realization, another step of realization?
Many realizations lead to enlightenment, which leads to consciousness. So it's not one realization. So sometimes you have several realizations, and all these realizations together, many realizations, they lead to what is known as enlightenment. The moment you are enlightened, the moment you realize, see, for example, we human beings are all the time chasing money. But the moment you realize, what will I do with this money? One day I will leave all this money and I will go. But till you realize that, you'll keep on chasing money. A millionaire doesn't stop. A millionaire wants to be a billionaire. But why does he want to be a billionaire? He has everything. He has a car, he has food, he has a house, he has everything. Then why does a millionaire want to be a billionaire? Because there is no realization. There is no realization, and the billionaire wants more money. And this is very sad. For example, we become attached to people. We become attached to people because we have no realization that no relationship is permanent. All relationships are going to end. So why should I be attached? So this is a challenge. So when you have all these realizations together, then you become conscious of the truth. Our goal is that, to be in that state of consciousness of the truth.
Okay.
Thank you. Administrator, do we have some more questions?
Thank you.
Next is Rekha here. This is
Yes,
her
Rekha.
question.
Yes.
When we say everything, what happens is God's will, and everything is His doing, then how is this our karma?
Everything is His doing, and it being our karma also is His doing, Rekha. Everything is His doing, and why it is your karma? Because that is also His doing. It is not, what is happening is not in your life, is not because Samita Gupta or Kumar Swami or Krishna Sharma has decided. This is decided by God. The karma that is happening is a law of the divine. So we should understand that karma is nothing but it's a program of God. Why are you trying to differentiate karma and God? God has said, Rekha, whatever happened is happening as per my will. My will is that you will get your karma. So simple thing, Rekha. Why is it complicating you? So please, Rekha, please clarify whether you are clear or you're still not clear. Read the question again, Administrator, so that Rekha is clear.
And the question is, when we say everything, what happens is God's will, and everything is His doing, then how is this our karma?
It is His will that your action gets you your reaction. It is very simple. Contemplate on my answer, please. Please contemplate on the answer and you will understand. Yes, I see a message flashing on my screen. I can't read it. So, Administrator, what is the next question? But I saw one or two messages.
Next is Samita here.
Yes, Samita, go ahead.
Shivam, sir. Sir, whether we are bound or we are free depends on us, no? Because it is depending on our ego. Is it correct?
It depends on what you said, the first part. Whether we are bound or
we are free depends on us. That is on our ego.
Ego? Why ego?
Yeah. Because a small example I'll tell you, especially in the case of ladies. What does the lady say? I cannot do this, I cannot go here because my kids are dependent on me, my family is dependent on me. So that is her ego which is coming in to show that I am important.
Her intellect. Her intellect.
Okay.
See, ego is different. Ego will influence, but the lady must use her intellect, right?
Yes.
The lady, there are two or three things. One is the intellect. The other thing is called a willpower. We human beings we have been given a willpower. Now the willpower also belongs to the ego. But to say the ego, I don't think is the right thing. I would not use the word ego. So Samita, we have to either use our intellect or we have to use a willpower. Sometimes when we don't use the intellect and the willpower, we develop a bad habit. We develop a wrong habit. Now this wrong habit becomes, for example, a lady. I'll give you an example. There's a lady whose husband slaps her every day. So what does she do? Every time the husband slaps her, she makes hot chapati and she gives on the table. Next day, what does he do? Again, he slaps her. Okay, what does she do? She makes hot chapati and gives on the table. So what is going to happen? Is anything going to change? She is accepting the fact that her husband is slapping her, and her response is to make nice hot chapati and give to the husband. So he continues to slap her. Now, why you are blaming her husband? The husband is doing something. The lady is accepting it. If the lady is accepting, then why should you and me have a problem? If the lady says, "How dare you slap me?" What is the reason for you to slap me? Suppose the lady asks, "What is the reason you to slap me?" Then he says, "Because when I came inside, the TV is on." So what is the problem if the TV is on? So the lady she has freedom to question. Why is she not questioning? Is it because she's not using her willpower, or because she's living with fear? She's living with fear, or because she's insecure that she can't take care of herself. There are different reasons, Samita. But it all comes down to this point that we are free. Every human, including every lady, can learn to earn and stand on her own feet. And we are not supposed to accept and tolerate any inhuman behavior. But I can tell you 50% or more ladies in this world accept inhuman behavior from people because they think themselves to be weak. And this is their choice. They are not exercising their freedom. They are not.
Yes.
So this is very sad, but we should learn to use our willpower. Okay? Did I complete your question?
Yeah, only what my thing was that some people, they used to call me selfish because I sit for my classes and my children are independent. So this is not selfishness, na? Because they are independent. I do what I want.
Oh, you're doing your dharma. Why should you worry about what people say?
Yes.
When the dogs are barking, remember when the dogs are barking? I told you. When the dogs are barking, the moon is shining. When some dogs are barking, the dogs will bark. Every dog will bark. Why do you worry about the dogs barking? You don't have to be like them. They are going for kitty party. They are going to gossip. You don't want to be like them. Why should you be like them? Okay, administrator, last question. Do we have a last question?
No, AiR, it's time up. All questions are done.
Okay, so I'm sorry, today I had to come to a place to meet somebody. So I hope it was not inconvenient. Kumar Swami, was it problem to hear me in this outdoor setting? Was it okay, Kumar Swami?
Everything was clear and no problem.
No problem, right? Because sometimes when I'm traveling, I realized I'm having a meeting with somebody away from my place. So then I had to come and I had to do a call in a place where.
Tomorrow we will have a discussion between awareness and consciousness. I want to ask you, tomorrow we will continue.
Tomorrow you will continue. Sure. You can see. It is an interesting subject, but you can trigger the start of the discussion tomorrow on awareness and consciousness. Okay. All right. Okay. So with that note, I thank you all for your cooperation in accepting my being on the outdoors, and I pray for your freedom on the eve of this Independence Day of India. I pray the country has got independence, but I am praying for your freedom. I'm praying that you can be free and you can be whom you want to be. And for that, you have to transcend the mind and ego me. If you transcend the mind and ego me, only then you can be free, and only then you can be whom you want to be. So remember this, that as long as you don't transcend me, you will never be free. With those notes, I thank you, I bow down to you, I look forward to you tomorrow. Thank you.